Back with more Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is episode 17 of season 1. I'm looking forward to seeing, as always, what's going to be happening next as we get closer and closer to wrapping this season up. I don't really know what to expect now. Is it going to be another kind of more self-contained adventure? Is it going to be tying into more grander schemes or character arcs, stuff like that? Never quite know what to expect. I mean, I imagine the very end of the season is going to be kind of plot heavy, things like that. But I enjoy how we can have fun and just do some kind of singular adventures every now and again. But they'll also speak to what the characters are like and reveal a bit more about them at the same time. So it's not just a complete filler, which I do enjoy. So yes, I'm excited to see what's going to be happening in this episode. So let's get into it.
It might not be a giant parrot, but a flying man. A member of a secret group of airwalkers. Great-grandpappy saw the airwalkers last week.
Oh. Well.
Do you think we'll really find airbenders?
You want me to be like you or totally honest?
Are you saying I'm a liar?
I'm saying you're an optimist.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I had to think so, but again, the title of the show. Well, if they are here, they'll probably all be dead in about 20 minutes.
They're not airbending. Those people have no spirit.
Hello. What's so funny? Yeah, try and do this, buddy. Is he just writing, "You suck"?
What do you think?
It's great.
I mean, it is quite impressive. Maybe a bit rude.
You're a real airbender. You must
What
be
gave it away?
Avatar.
Running on the walls?
That's amazing.
Whoa. They steampunked the temple. Oh yeah, you might not like that. Yeah, it's ruined all that, hasn't it?
This is supposed to be the history of my people.
Did you have to put it through the guy's head?
I'm sure some parts of the temple are still the same.
Maybe a window or something? That'd be nice. Oh.
What the doodle? Don't you know enough to stay away from construction sites? We have to make...
Not when you say look out and then immediately destroy the wall a second later.
You're 12.
Dad, he's the Avatar. He used to come here 100 years ago.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Who said you could be here?
If he was 12, he'd probably be fine with all of this.
Teo was badly hurt and lost his mother.
Oh.
I needed somewhere to rebuild, improving upon what's already here. And after all, isn't that what nature does?
Nature knows where to
Both of them
stop.
crying.
I suppose that's true. Unfortunately,
He does have the hair of a mad scientist.
You put spark powder in the candle.
4 flashes, so it's exactly 4 hours past midday, or as I call it, 4 candle. If you like that,
Wow.
wait till you see my
That is quite clever.
safe knife sharpener. Only took me 3 tries to get it right.
But the creatures that live here are probably direct descendants of the ones that lived here a long time ago.
You're right. They're kind of keepers of the temple's origins.
That's something.
Just the way the monks left it. I've always wondered what it was like in there.
Aang? I'm sorry. This is the last part of the temple that's the same as it was. I wanted to stay there.
Yeah, doesn't want to risk it.
I completely understand.
It's filled to the brim with natural gas. Came across it my first time here. Unfortunately, I was carrying a torch at the time. Nearly blew
Natural
myself
gas?
The whole place even more sky high.
So this place is an explosion waiting to happen.
Yes, until
Oh, good.
I figure out how to locate
That'd be fine.
something I can't see, hear, smell, or touch.
The wind will carry you. It's
Easy.
something. Are you ready?
No!
But she did it anyway. That would be good fun.
Just make sure you keep your mouth closed so you don't swallow a bug. If you want to see what's in that room, I'd be happy to open the door for you.
Great.
Wait!
Yeah, I was thinking that. Did you tell him how to land?
Bug! Bug!
I said don't touch anything. Oh,
What if the stuff touches him?
Weak old egg smell.
Quick, find that egg.
I can't believe him.
That's something you can smell.
See what's inside.
The gas will mix with the smell of rotten eggs.
That if there's a leak,
You smell rotten eggs.
There you go.
You just follow your nose.
What a disgusting solution.
It's coming from.
and plug up the hole where the gas is escaping.
You're a genius.
Huh.
You're making weapons for the Fire Nation.
I begged them to spare us. They asked what I had to offer. I offered my services. You must understand, I did this for you.
Oh boy.
How can I be proud of you when your inventions are being used for murder?
If I don't get what I came for, the Fire Nation will burn this place to rubble.
Get out of here! You're leaving.
Bitch slapped him. Hard to make an entrance like that dramatic, I guess.
I want to help.
Good. We'll need it.
Nice. You can be proud of him again.
How do you keep a lid on hot air?
Ugh, if only we knew.
A lid is actually
Savage.
the answer.
I like it when they showcase how clever Soccer is.
Fire and
It's like he made those things before, didn't he? Like the explosive things. I like his goggles, they're cool. Pick them off like birds of prey. So this just shows how useful like airbending can be. It's like if you could choose one, which would it be? Pretty damn good argument. What the hell? What is this, Arkham Knight? Surprised at how long it took them to actually use fire.
the counterbalancing system. Something to do with water. Works great, huh?
Water? Can you get me close to one?
Interesting.
No problem.
Ah, he's stopping her from getting burned. It's a nice change from the last episode.
Where's that war balloon?
Surprise.
They think we're on their side.
Yeah.
Then I guess they won't see this coming.
Fools.
Bombs away.
Rotten eggs! There! That's where the gas is escaping!
Oh. How's this for fire, bitches? Yeah. Cooked to a crisp.
We're going down!
Oh.
Oh, Sokka, hold on!
Get ready!
Oh wow. I like that showed how much trust he has in Aang and how well those two work together.
Maybe you weren't born here, but you found this empty shell and made it your home. And now you protect each other.
That means a lot, coming from you. We'll have the Fire Nation on the run.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I was hoping that would have popped. Oh dear. Okay, this was another quite fun episode. Not one of my absolute favourites by any means, but still really good fun. I enjoyed visiting another air temple, and the idea that it had like settlers in it, and they'd actually kind of updated it and put new technology in, moving with the times. I thought that was a really interesting kind of representation of Aang kind of coming back to this world 100 years after he was frozen. So he's still very much in that mindset, in, you know, the kind of mind of someone from 100 years ago. He's kind of been thrown into this new time and has to learn all these new things, do all these new things, see all these new things, get used to how the world is now. And, you know, in 100 years, lots has changed, lots has moved forward, you know, technology's kind of advanced, stuff like that. And that temple was a physical representation of that. So a lot of the murals and all of that had been kind of taken over by the new technology. So I thought that was a really interesting idea. I liked that a lot. And Aang's kind of journey throughout the episode of being angry about it at first, realising, you know, it's not all entirely gone, not wanting to reveal what was in that extra, you know, the extra vault thing, because he thought that was the one bit that still had been preserved from his time, so it's not all gone entirely. To then him thinking, well, these guys, maybe they deserve to see what is in there, because they actually do have the spirit of the people and my people who used to live here. And then the big reveal then, which is another twist I didn't see coming, I will admit, and the fact that he's making weapons for the Fire Nation. That was a really well realised twist, I thought. Very well set up. So yeah, to see Aang kind of learn all of this and then come to terms with it at the end, and the comparison he made with like those hermit crab things, you know, it's another one of those things. I think maybe what you're, you know, what a bending or tribe, whatever you're born into, maybe isn't necessarily the one that you're going to be best at. I think that's still very much the case for Zuko as well. You know, I've mentioned before, I think he's never actually been his most capable when he's firebending and stuff, so maybe his destiny is actually elsewhere. And I'm sure that's the case for lots of different people. So I enjoyed him kind of going on that journey throughout the episode, showcasing how cool airbending is, quite frankly. You know, being kind of somewhat against Teo and all those guys gliding around at first, and then they had to come together for that big fight. I enjoyed everything with that, just all the different kind of abilities that you can have, and that kind of big fight at the end of the episode, the big battle with the Fire Nation. I really enjoyed how that was staged. It felt very different to like the fights we'd seen before. So obviously it was more so about technology and machines and stuff, and the ancient kind of powers that Aang has versus still some newer tech with people in their gliders and the slime, the gas, all of that. So I like how this episode kind of spoke to just how much things have changed since Aang was like frozen way back when. That was a really clever kind of metaphor for, you know, the world itself and Aang, and him having to come to terms with what's changed for him by seeing what's physically changed in a monument and a temple that the airbenders used to inhabit and no longer do because they're all gone. I liked that. The moment of hope that Aang had is actually quite sad as well at the start. He thought maybe there will be people there because of the stories that he heard. Would have been interesting if they kind of held on to that a little bit longer, but obviously this episode had a lot going on for it. They needed to get to the other reveals they had planned, so they couldn't really squeeze much more out of, you know, Aang potentially thinking, oh, maybe there are some people still out there. But still, I enjoyed that a lot. And the inventor guy and Teo, I really enjoyed as side characters. I don't know if we'll see them again. I've been surprised in the past when we've actually seen some older characters return. Was it the last episode or the episode before? I think it was the episode before, when they kind of brought back some other villagers, when the beast that could like sense like smell or something, I think it was. Something like that. And they were like tracking Aang back, and they actually met some characters that were in previous episodes. So, you know, it's not completely out of the realms of possibility that we do see a couple of these guys again. But I really liked Teo a lot, and the fact that he didn't know what his dad was up to, and he's kind of against it when he found out. And Aang kind of saying he has the spirit of like an airbender. And I like that idea that you can still kind of carry the spirit of an airbender or whatever, even if you don't actually have those powers yourself. I really like that idea, because, you know, us as an audience, we don't have these powers and shit, but we can aspire to at least have that spirit. I think that's a really cool message. So I loved everything with that. And obviously Teo was injured and stuff. So the fact that he's still kind of going out and being brave, doing all this gliding stuff, I thought it was a really cool representation. So again, this show really kind of ahead of its time and doing some cool stuff with that, which I thought was great. So I really enjoyed Teo. And, you know, his dad was doing bad things, making his weapons, granted, that ultimately led to the destruction of many, many lives, probably more lives than he was keeping safe in the temple, granted. But I think to an extent you can understand his reasonings. and he'd lost his wife as well. He probably didn't want to be faced with losing his son and all these people that were living there quite so soon after that. But, you know, kind of was also making amends for it as the episode went on. He decided to help fight back. There was that little look right at the end, when you're like, oh, the Fire Nation doesn't stand a chance. I don't know if there's just more that guy's hasn't let on yet, or if that was just like he's a bit concerned, like, I still think it's going to be a bit of a fight here, guys. I don't know what quite that may have been. I'm sure there's different interpretations of it, or maybe we see him again and there's going to be more to it. But yeah, it's obvious. The show isn't over, so the battle's still going on, so you can kind of read that from his kind of nervous look as well. But I liked the idea of him coming up with all these different ideas. Him and Sokka working together, that was a really cool pairing. I like that they were kind of complementing each other. It wasn't a competition with them, like, oh, who's going to come up with the best idea, who's going to be the smartest. They were very much kind of equal footing, and the inventor guy never treated Sokka, I think, as less than him in terms of like his mind and stuff, which I really enjoyed. And we've seen before, Sokka is quite capable of like inventing things and like putting things together like that. So the fact that they were showcasing it again in this one was really fun. Then making that balloon with the Fire Nation emblem, so they kind of were confused and thought they might have been on their side. And now they kind of are using that ultimately against them, I believe. Because they were inflating the balloon again at the end. So the Fire Nation do have that weapon now, so I think they're kind of building up to another big conflict where they can use that. But it makes sense, we're getting close to the end of the season, so I imagine a big kind of confrontation is going to happen fairly soon. But yeah, showing Sokka's capability with all of that was really great. I like it when he can do that, because while he doesn't have powers of like the core three characters, he does still bring a lot to that group and can do some really cool stuff. So I like them showcasing that. And Katara even just taking that plunge, quite literally taking the plunge, and trying out the glider, is just again like the spirit of the different kind of airbenders, waterbenders, etc. The fact that she was just kind of brave enough to just go for it even when she was scared. Like, even she was like, you know, are you ready? And she was like, no, as she was like running and jumping off, but she did it anyway, so I thought that was pretty cool of her as well. So every character got some really nice moments in this. Even Momo, just eating some bugs, chilling, living his best life. Love that. So yeah, I liked the kind of idea of revisiting the idea of going to a temple, but they did very different stuff with it, and that confrontation was great with the Fire Nation. You know, all the different technology that they had. It felt very much like, okay, you know, the times really have moved on, and this was, I think, a true demonstration of that. I don't think Aang had faced something thus far that was quite so like, oh wow, I'm really kind of out of touch with this, because I was frozen for 100 years. So it was an interesting story to actually do that as an obstacle for Aang. That's not himself, which has been the case on a number of occasions. So yeah, that was all really interesting, and I look forward to seeing what else they have in store for us with the next 3 episodes of the season, I think. But yeah, lots of good stuff here again, some great character moments. Love the kind of set piece of the battle at the end. The idea of moving with the times changing. That physical representation of what Aang has kind of had to face after he came out of the ice. The inventor story was really cool. I really liked Teo a lot, that whole kind of group. Yeah, just some really great stuff from start to finish with this episode. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what's going to be happening next. I feel like we must... I mean, this episode was also very much building towards a big thing, I think, with like them getting hands on the balloon and everything. And that was another thing as well, like the gas thing, the smell of rotten eggs, just again showcasing how cool and smart Sokka and the inventor guy were. That was a cool way of bringing that solution in at the end when they realised that's where the gas was coming from. We can use that to blow all these bastards up. That was also very cleverly written. But yeah, they kind of seem like they're building towards a conflict, and I know we're getting close to the end of the season, so I'm excited to see if things are going to escalate even further in the next one, and then the last 2 as well. I think the last 2 are a 2-parter. Have I made that up? I don't know. I guess I'll find out in a couple of weeks when I get there. But yeah, another really great episode, and I'm excited to get very close to the end of this first season. In terms of like the reactions coming out, I don't know how it's going to go yet, because I am currently in the process of moving. I'm going to be moving in the next couple of weeks. And it's probably going to work out. I'm going to be moving just in time for me to have reacted to the very last episode of the season. So I'm going to try, and if I get time, I'm going to just binge the rest of the first season and get those episodes edited, uploaded in time, so I can still post them weekly, even if at the time I would be quite busy. I'm going to try and get a bit ahead, just so at the very least, before things may get delayed because I need to settle into a new place, get internet and stuff, I've at least gotten the first season done, because we're so close. It'd be annoying if there's like one episode left in the season and we have to wait a couple of weeks for me to get there. But that's a problem for future me, I guess. So yes, another fantastic episode overall, looking forward to more, and until my next reaction, thanks for watching.